So, as we've been all saying, we're advocates for you guys. So your membership doesn't stop with just your application being filled out and submitted through all these different campaigns. It's really up to you. If you want that to be where your relationship with us stops, that's fine. But there's so much more we can do for you and with you if you leverage your partnership with us. And many of you know that in the room because I've worked with a lot of you firsthand. So I just want to talk today about some of the opportunities and resources we do have available to support your teams beyond the application process. Um, First of all, we have a member portal where we store all sorts of resources and information for you, from toolkits on what resources are available, because we spit out a lot of stuff here and it's easy to forget everything that we talk about, to guides that show you, how to navigate the charity fairs and, the do's and don'ts of soliciting federal government workers. So we have this portal, and I've included the URL there. So I encourage you to go log on and visit there often throughout the year, just to make sure that you are leveraging everything you can with us. And we store a lot of helpful how-to guides there to help you through the process, whether it's state and local campaigns, the CFC. We've got some new stuff up there for branding to, how to promote their new volunteer program on your website, things like that. So definitely check that out. And a big part of what we do is promotion on your behalf throughout the year. It's not, we really do a major push in the fall because that still is when the traditional peak workplace giving campaign season takes place. So it makes sense to do a really big push there. But donors don't just think about you in October. They're thinking about you all year long. And it depends on the cause, what their interests are, what's going on in their lives, that they may just suddenly think of you, or they may just learn about you from a conversation with a colleague or a family member. So what we want to do is do a better job of promoting you throughout the year, not just based on our initiatives, but on your initiatives as well. If you have a volunteer event, or you have a gala coming up, or you have this wonderful story of how you helped someone, get housing, or this pet you saved, we like to share those stories because at the end of the day, that's what's going to connect with the donor and the company as well. These companies are looking for partners. They're looking for charities, that align with their goals and their employees' interests. So just getting these stories out in a way that really engages and interests them and connects with them at a deeper level. That's what our goal is through this. So some of the things that we are doing this year, something newer that we've been doing, as Roseanne mentioned, we work with a lot of clients whose campaigns we manage. So in the past, we've focused more of the cause months and days internally on those clients. This year, we decided, okay, let's go external and, reach an even larger audience and, use that as another way to gain more employer interest and possible connections for all of you. And just to raise more awareness about all that you're doing, when you have so many cause months, more than we can actually promote. Just making sure people know what you're doing. I dig through your sites and I see all the wonderful work you're doing, and it's like, how can I tell them, Feeding America, there's an environmental connection here. There's food scarcity. There's these food scraps going on, in the dumps, and it's just there's so many connections here people aren't aware of, and we can help tell that story and share it with people. So something this year we did is we launched these cause months and days, and we've been using that to advocate on your behalf about the specific programs that you are doing that align with that specific cause month. And we leverage we're trying to do this mostly without your time and resources. What we do is we take all that information you submit through the member application process, those impact stories, the photos, graphics, everything you give us, dollar by statements. We pull that and we use it and we push it out everywhere we can. At the beginning of the year, I reached out to all of your teams with an editorial schedule of all these cause months that we were going to be promoting, and with your organization's name next to it, so you knew, okay, this is where we're going to be promoted. And that's how we do that. So some of the promotional efforts we do are more really on your behalf. You don't have to do anything. You've already given us information, and so we're just going forth and conquering and getting the word out. Other things we're more hands-on and involved in with you. blog posts, nonprofit specific events and accolades. So here, Make-A-Wish, we have World Wish Day that happens every April. It's at the end of the month. April 29th is the official day. Yeah. But it's really a month-long event that they do to really share the story of these Wish kids and Wish adults, I should say. I mean, people think of the work they do with just kids, but they really are growing up to, thriving adults who, are living their lives. So we work with you on promoting your specific events. At accolades, if you win an award or something really great, it's going on with a corporate partner. I had a great conversation with Debbie over here earlier from Phillips. Earlier this year, I got to help promote a volunteer event they had for building a playground. They needed employers to, step up and help them get this playground built. And I just learned some really great news from them. I mean, they joined forces with Kaboom, and it was a really successful event. And Kaboom is actually offering to build another playground for them. So they've got their hands full this year. Good luck with that, Debbie. But I'm going to be working with her now that I've learned more about how that all unfolded to promote that, because it's also important for other companies to learn from each other. Say, okay, how did this partnership form? What goes into planning a playground build event? There's a lot of coordination there that people aren't aware. So we try to tell your story in all certain aspects to different audiences, the employee donors and the companies, because both are looking to support you in different ways. So those are some ways that we help you. Your charity profile, everyone has a charity profile on our website by default. It's populated based on the information you submit through your member application. So again, no work on your, after you submit that application, which is a lot of work. I shouldn't say no work, that's a lot of work. But once you do that, we pull from it so that you don't have to continue putting out a lot of effort, because we know you need to focus on your other priorities throughout the day. We launched this past fall a new technology solution called Quick Start, which Roseanne briefly mentioned earlier, and that is actually hosted through our website, and it pulls directly from these charity profiles. So any company that uses that website, it's directly updated based on the content we put in there from your membership application information. And then, as Emily stated earlier, public sector campaigns, we're stepping up our game here, because in the past we've really focused more on CFC and private sector. And we've really kind of ignored the public sector and the marketing department. They haven't, they've been all over it. But I realized, we need to match our efforts more. So I started asking Emily lots of questions last year and asking where are the high performing states, where should we be focusing our efforts, thinking of ways that we can, do more on your behalf. Other than just getting you into those campaigns, what's the next step after that? And, a lot of that is working hand in hand with the coordinators of those campaigns. We actually know firsthand how that works, because we actually run several state campaigns ourselves. I'm very involved in Maryland and New Jersey, so having that kind of insight helps me understand how better to promote you to those employees from the other perspective. So that's one area we're really stepping up our game, between the blog posts where we help share information from your charity code in that state campaign to a link to that state's website, how to participate in it, because there are a lot of employees who just don't know about or how to participate, and they come across us on social media and say, hey, I didn't even know I could do that. So using the resources we have, when a campaign asks us for something like a poster, where we jump on it, we have your logos that you've provided us, and we push that out to the campaigns based on their request, and we push it out for you from there. And those are some of the things that we're doing more of that are newer to our program. Something that we've been doing forever but still evolving is your promotion through the CFC. So we have for a long time used the Washington Post Express to promote you guys. And you can visit with Patrick, who's out there really straight in front of me through that column later today, to talk to him about some of the advertising opportunities they have. In the past, And I'll talk about the advertising campaign in a little bit. We have an advertising campaign we hold each fall that you can participate in. But regardless of if you participate in that or not, every year we use this publication from Washington Post to feature a listing of our members and their CFC numbers. And the idea was this is a cover wrap. It's a free publication, so federal donors can pull it at the metro station, all over downtown. You just see it everywhere in a coffee shop. And they could just take this cover wrap, not the whole edition, and just take that to their desk, and they'd have a full listing right there. Nice little quick brochure when they're filling out that that pledge online to know how to donate to you. This year we decided, what if we did more? Because a listing is nice, it's free for you guys. It's, free publicity is good publicity. But we wanted to take it a step further and really think, how can we really catch the attention of these donors and do a better job of communicating your impact and why it matters. So we took out a pull-out section in the centerfold of the same edition of the cover wrap and did this nice 4-page spread featuring all of our CFC members' logos, putting more of a narrative to it. Hunger and poverty. Okay, what are the issues there? How does my donation make a difference? And which charities should I support if I want to help address this issue? So that's kind of how we set it up. And again, we did that just on your behalf because you are a member of America's Charities CFC program. And we're going to do that again this year because it was really great and we thought it was well received by the public. And then we help you reach more employees. You all have your different audiences that you reach through your own efforts. But our audience is a niche audience for you that we help, that maybe your team doesn't have capacity to reach, or you just don't have experience or expertise in reaching that particular audience. The corporate social responsibility and philanthropy audience. The coordinators who, they manage their campaigns at work. To the C-suite person who is saying, okay, I want you to go look into starting this. I want to support this charity. So we used our social media. We use our website, our newsletter. We also have a subscription to 3BL Media, which is they're a news distributor. But they're not just any news distributor. They're focused on this corporate social responsibility audience. So you're really, targeting that group of audience that you want to reach. And it does cost money. So for us, we see it as a great value to you because if you work with us on a blog post, we push it out on there. If you're celebrating an event, World Wish Day, we help push it out through there. And that's a value of $30,000 to $40,000 that you're not having to pay. We're absorbing that cost and you're benefiting from that reach. So definitely take us up on it when we say, tell us about what you're doing and how we can help you get the word out about it. I mentioned the fall member advertising campaign. We still are selling space, so if you're interested, talk to me after and we can go into more details. But essentially, the purpose of this campaign is to raise awareness and get your brand out there front and center during the peak workplace giving season, when it's really top of mind, when donors are actively deciding, who am I going to pledge my money to this year? So we use a variety of media and channels. We use print media through Washington Post. We use posters through the metro stations. We use social media, and then we use a lot of digital media, from display ads to geofence targeted ads. This year, what we're doing some new stuff. We always look at the data after the campaign and see, okay, what performed best? What can we do better? Should we shift budget over here because that worked better? Are there geographies that we're not reaching that maybe we should try starting to reach out to? Historically, we have focused our budget on targeting the Washington, D.C. metro area. Social media, obviously you're going to reach beyond that. But for the most part, the advertising was focused in this really concentrated area. This year we're expanding across the U.S. We have, I like to pick Emily's brain over there and say, what's top performing? Give me the data. And then we put this package, this campaign together based on those top performing states in the CFC. We looked at Also, how can we go beyond the CFC? We're going to keep plugging away to push those numbers back up for you. We do think that will happen. It may be hard work and a lot of time and patience, but we're going to get there. But we also are seeing a lot of growth in the private sector. And we haven't really done a lot of work for you to get you to the private sector beyond the campaigns we manage in the DC metro region. So this year, I'm really excited. We're using geofence targeted ads to target some of the top performing corporate companies. So I think Apple, Google, Nike, those kind of companies, we're targeting their employees with these ads. So they'll be on their mobile device going to work in the morning, and then anyone who's in that facility of the headquarters, of the corporate headquarters, they're going to see your ads if you're participating in this campaign during the workplace giving season. So this is one new technique we're trying out this year to do a better job of reaching that private sector audience. And I'm really excited about it. So those are just some of the new things we're doing this year. And then going back to the advocacy we were talking about earlier, we want to get the word out that workplace giving is not dead. The CFC is not dead. Things are changing. Things are evolving. There are reasons why the CFC is suffering. Things are way out of our control that we can't control a shutdown, but we can certainly do other things to make sure there's minimal damage as possible, and also letting people understand the importance and what impact that shutdown has on the charities and the communities that they serve. So we reach out to reporters reach out to us, really. That's how it starts, and then we give them the stories. And so we're doing all sorts of things where we're telling them about the workplace giving stats, why it matters, and then we're also helping get your names out there. So when they always ask us for a list or a handful of charities that they can call and ask for comments and stuff like that. So we, if you're interested, let us know. We'll put you on a short list. We're happy to keep that list running. And as you can see in highlighted, we get you out there. We have Feeding America out there. We've got Civil Liberties Union. We've got Salvation Army National Capital Area, a wider circle. Those were just all this past year. So we're really working to get your name out there in every way possible. These are just some more examples of places where we're getting visibility. In addition to the CFC, we're also pushing on the private sector front. We do our own research in-house. We have a snapshot series. And so we are really just advocating for workplace giving in general, because there is a benefit to donating to you through these workplace giving campaigns. There are many ways for donors to support your efforts. They can donate on Facebook, but honestly, you're not going to build a relationship with that donor because you're not getting the data you need to do that. We're giving you that data, and we know the importance of helping make those connections for you. And the donation through workplace giving is better for you in the long run. It's more sustainable. They're going to donate more to you. So just kind of getting the education out there to donors about why it matters and that is an option, because a lot of them don't know workplace giving is an option. Unless your company has had a campaign for a long time and you've been involved with that, you may not know that this is something maybe you should push for. Say, hey, boss, I want to give through this way. Is that something we can do? And that kind of leads to the Saving the World one paycheck at a time Jim mentioned earlier. We started this campaign earlier this spring, and it's a large advocacy campaign that will be ongoing for some time. It's just to get the word out about the value of workplace giving. We've started with a webinar series featuring some coordinators of public sector campaigns. We recently had one featuring a couple member charities, and we will continue lining up all sorts of webinars and blog posts and stories to get the word out about the value of workplace giving, both from the value of the workplace coordinator, the employees, and the charities involved. And then we're also looking for other ways we can help you save some money or make more money, through member discounts. So we've partnered with a bunch of organizations that Jim mentioned earlier, from state registration and compliance, helping get through all that process and discounts on that process, to leveraging matching gifts. There's $4 to $7 billion each year that goes untapped from matching gifts because people just don't know about this opportunity to get their company to match their donation. So, Double the Donation has some really great opportunities for our members to get in front of that and increase their share of that pie, because there's a lot you can do on that front. And we've got a free discount from them, something simple you could plug into your site where you type in your employer's name and see, do they donate? Do they match my donation? So this is on your website. This is really in your control. There's matching gift programs through our private sector campaigns, and then there's the matching gifts that donors can get when they donate through your website. And how that works is they donate on your website, but then they have to submit some paperwork to their company to get that match. And so double donation really helps with that side of the process. They have that little simple free widget that you can plug in, or they have a really big 360 match program that automates the process more for you, from collecting that data and streamlining it all to helping identify donors who might have a match available to them. They may not know they have a match available to them, but through that system, you know it, so you can reach out to them and say, hey, did you know your employer will match this? Just fill out this form. So these are really great opportunities and discounts that we look for to just add value to your membership with us. And all of this information, you'll find it on these thumb drives later. We know it's a lot to spit out, but I'm going to hand it over to Brittany and Jennifer now to
Before you do that,